Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Teen fears. I am too far removed from being a teenager to be confident that many teens have the following fears, but I have enjoyed pondering what I would say in response to those concerns about those fears, and maybe you're going to enjoy hearing about them now. A teen might be feeling, I don't feel special. Well, is that too high a bar? It's hard to feel very different from the masses. And I feel sorry for people who, to make themselves special, hurt themselves. They might change their appearance to look different, but in a way that turns off people except for the shallow. Or they'll use mind-altering substances, including alcohol and marijuana, to appear different and cool to their own detriment. On the other hand, maybe your desire to feel special could fuel you to be special in a positive way. Make arguments for unpopular but legitimate points of view in class or with your friends. Plan on an under-the-radar career, for example, in the alternative energy space, wind turbine technician, solar component distributor, researcher on safer nuclear energy. I could picture a teenager thinking, I'm selfish. Well, and we're told to be less so. No less than legendary scientists Charles Darwin and Abraham Maslow insisted that selfishness is core to survival, literal or at least psychological. Of course, excessive selfishness can cross the line into narcissism or even cruelty. But as long as you avoid such extremes, taking care of number one is legitimate. As they say on airplanes, in case of emergency, put your own mask on first. A teen might be thinking, I feel uncool, even wrong, being attracted to the opposite sex and people of my race rather than an LGBT of a different race. Yeah, the textbooks, TV, films, seems like everyone seems to honor mixed-race couples, especially LGBT ones. But that's merely a current belief. For millennia, people have overwhelmingly preferred the opposite sex, probably largely biologically based. And also they've preferred people of their same background. And it's hard enough to sustainably get along with someone from the opposite sex who is from your background. I believe you're entitled to follow your preferences, especially about something as personal and important as romantic relationships. I could picture a teen thinking, I feel guilty that I live in a nicer house than many people. My teachers say successful people are privileged. We should give up more to the poor. Well, first of all, how much has your teacher given up as they moved has she taken in a bunch of poor people into her apartment or home or moved to a very, quote, gritty neighborhood? And besides, did your parents steal to get their home? More likely they worked hard and well enough that their employer or customers were willing to part with their hard-earned money to pay them. That's earned privilege. You shouldn't be ashamed. You should be proud. I could picture a teen worrying, I don't think people who say education is good for me, I don't believe them. I just can't believe that geometric theorems, the War of the Roses, or balancing chemical equations is or will be more useful to me than if I, for example, learned how to make money, get along better with my friends, my parents, and yes, starting on my journey to figure out the meaning of life. My response would be, you're probably right. But education is dominated by people who think that academics should trump all that. I can only give you the inadequate advice to try to get into your coursework. Students who do find some academic material interesting, if not useful. And just maybe, it'll improve your reasoning and writing skills. Besides, grades are the coin of the realm. Good grades help you get into a brand-name college, which, right or wrong, is used by employers, and even by friends and romantic partners, to judge you. A teen might think, I'm scared I'll never have a career. Everything now is AI or offshored. My answer, well, not everything, but you're right to be concerned. But you improve your chances if you aim toward a not automatable, not offshoreable career like technician, hair cutter, executive, or healthcare provider. Or learn entrepreneurship at the elbow of a successful and ethical entrepreneur. Self-employment done well is the best guarantor of continued employment. If that intrigues, maybe ask your parents or parents of friends for a referral for an after-school or summer internship or, formal or informal. A teen could be thinking, I'm scared to go to college. I've sometimes said I don't like my parents and resent their restrictions, but truth is I love them, value their security, and I'm even relieved, sort of, at the restrictions. Like so many kids at college, without my parents watching me, will I go wild? My response would be, you sound like someone who wouldn't go wild at college. Besides, it's normal for a high school student, if they're being honest about it, to be scared to leave the structure and protection of home for the less structured, less protected, harder academics of college. Breathe, and then decide whether the wise one within you would indeed be wisest to live at home and attend a commuter college such as a community college, or try an away college, maybe one that's just laundry distance from home so you could come home on the weekend if you wanted to. If an away college doesn't work out well enough, you sound like a kid whose parents would welcome you back home. This may be an example of better to have tried and failed than not to have tried at all. A teen might think, why would any kid, any guy want to take his clothes off in front of a girl? For many, but not all high school students, sex drives reduces inhibition. But what counts is what feels right for you. You should do what the wise one within you feels is right, not just in the moment, but how you'd guess you'd feel the day after, the weeks after. I could picture a kid worrying, why would kids have intercourse? There are diseases from herpes to chlamydia, syphilis to gonorrhea to AIDS. And what if she gets pregnant? I'd feel so bad going with her to an abortion, and even worse if she decided to have the child. As a teenager, my life would totally change. And how could I afford it? My response? Again, that sex drive thing is powerful. And especially as teenagers, we tend to think bad things won't happen to us. But even condom use doesn't guarantee safety. And in the heat of the moment, more than one couple has decided to forego a condom. It is, of course, safer, physically as well as psychologically, to defer intercourse until later love. But sometimes emotions can trump rationality. Dear viewer, I hope, of course, that some of this might be helpful to you or to someone you care about. In any event, that's Teen Fears. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 35 books. Perhaps most relevant to this would be How to Do Life and Starting Out Stories, but all 35 are on Amazon. In any event, I thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.